This is the No Facts Given podcast. We don't answer questions. Our show, our opinions. Facts don't matter. No Facts Given podcast, presented by the 419 Grind.
Yes. It's Monday. How is everyone doing tonight?
Wonderful.
It's Monday, like you said. It's Monday.
It is. So how's your Monday been going so far, bro?
Well, we're doing the homeschool with my boy. It's been going.
It's been going. Oh. Nephew shaking his head like.
Yeah, I got my son in the building with me today.
Of course. Shout out to my nephew.
Outside of the house and some new ventures are.
Yeah.
Okay, he like whatever, Dad.
He like whatever. Jasmine.
What's up?
How was your day today? Today?
It was good. It was busy.
Yes.
Just working, and it was very eventful. Let's say that.
Okay. For a Monday. So it was a Monday.
It was definitely a
okay.
Monday.
Oh, here we go. Ashley's tuned in. She said, my girl, Jazz. Yes. So, for those who don't know, we have the lovely Jasmine. Her Facebook profile name is Jasmine Dees, for those who don't know, in the building. And I am so honored to have her here with us tonight. How do you feel about being in the studio tonight?
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah, this is cool.
It is? You like it?
Yeah.
So, we're going to just jump right into it. Tell us about Jasmine.
Well, I'm a mother of 4 boys.
Okay.
Happily married. Shout out to my husband, Al. He is my rock, my everything. I have an older son. He's 23. He's in his senior year in college in Eastern Michigan.
Okay.
So he's finishing up his last year. And then I have a 21-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 14-year-old.
You do not look like you have kids in their 20s.
Oh, yeah. I started young.
I did too, so. I understand.
Definitely.
And you are a business owner.
Yes. I own Jay's Catering.
Okay.
And I've been, I'm a certified executive chef. And I've been an executive chef for about 6 years now. I started just when my kids were young and I couldn't really work because I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I started just selling dinners out of the house. You know, had the food stamps, flipping the food stamps and buying food and getting meals and selling dinners on the weekends. And then that's what kind of sparked my interest. I was like, you know what, I should make this a business. And so before I did that, I ended up going into, right when the Hollywood Casino opened,
Okay.
I ended up getting a chef job there.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I started there, and the guy promoted me really quickly because of my work ethic and things like that, because I was only supposed to be prep. Excuse me. And he was like, no. He was like, you need to be elevated a little higher.
Right.
And so he did, and from there, I just been cooking ever since.
That's amazing.
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen. Whip it. See, and I admire that because, you know, as a mom, and bro, I know you love to eat. My sis does not get any days. Well, she may get days off, but we know he loves some cooked meals.
I got to eat. Plain and simple.
Think about my house, my husband, all them boys.
And boys.
Yes.
You're the only female in the house.
Yes.
Oh, man.
And then you have to cook for. So, on average, like, how large are the meals that you cook each week?
So the biggest catering event I had cooked for was 600, and I cooked the food by myself.
No help.
No help. Nothing but my cousin Jewel will help me prep, but as far as the cooking, I do everything.
Oh my goodness.
And so I don't know how to cook small. And so
Right.
my boys are so bougie now because of the meals that I cook. They act like they can't eat leftovers. So it's like I'll have a ton of food left over. So I'm telling you, I cook for a village.
I need some pointers.
Man.
Because,
How early do you start?
yeah.
When I do those catering events, I normally have to get up about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah, I normally would prep the night before. And then I'll get up at 3 and I'll just start cooking and
Just
getting
cook.
everything done. Yeah.
So do you play music while you cook?
Oh,
like,
of
do you
course.
set the tone for
Yes.
yourself?
I have to have music going all the time. I'm more of a music person versus a TV person.
Right.
So I always like have my candles lit, the music going stuff.
So you
That's
set
just
your
me.
mood.
Yeah.
So, like,
definitely.
romance in the kitchen.
You know it.
I gotta start thinking of it that way.
Yeah.
I think that may help me.
Play 90s R&B, get that going, get that mood going.
You don't be in the
and-
kitchen, Bri?
I do, but I don't.
Not enough.
I'm not gonna say not enough because, like, I be busy. I'm, like, always busy. So, like, I have my days where I do not mind telling the family, like, I'm not cooking tonight.
Yeah. Oh, I've gotten like that now. At first, I used to feel guilty.
Yeah, I got over that, like, 2 months ago. There's no guilt there. But it's like, for my household, they're so picky. Even down to my fiance, he's picky. So I can make large meals, but then they may not want to eat it for like, you know what I'm saying? When I make it, I'm thinking, look, I'm cooking a big meal. This is going to be tonight's dinner.
Last, yeah.
And then it's going to be, if you want a hot lunch, that's going to be lunch and dinner for tomorrow.
Right.
That stuff sit, and I'll be the only one eating it. And at first I thought it was, that my cooking was nasty. They're like, no, Mom, no.
Yeah,
and then it's not so I'm over it.
You over it the second day.
I'm trying to figure it out.
I'm the same way. Like, after the second day, I'm like, I don't know if I want this spaghetti again.
And then you have to understand, like, we're thinking about our schedule when we're doing this. We're thinking about what we have to do for the week. So I'm like, okay, boom. I done cooked this pot. Like, the other day, I made a huge thing of tacos. Because I hadn't made tacos in a while. And I'm like, I ain't even going to tell y'all how much turkey meat I bought.
Oh, yes. We just had loaded nachos yesterday, and I had to use about 6 pounds of ground turkey.
Jesus.
That's my, about
Did you have
6 to 9.
four boys?
Well, 3 at home.
Okay.
And my husband, so that's 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez. So I buy the big 3-pound turkey packs, and then I always cook with about 3 or 4 of those.
Yep.
So I was kind of upset because when I was thinking about the tacos, I'm like, okay, well, it's the meat. So you can have nachos one day, you can have tacos the other day. They like these little bowls I've been buying. And then, they got like the cheddar shells and stuff now. So it's other, multiple things. Do y'all know this stuff sat in there after they begged for taco? First of all, I want to know who told my daughters about Taco Tuesday. I don't go to Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, she's talking about an event, not just the actual day.
So they expect,
tacos every Tuesday.
They say it's Taco Tuesday.
Right.
And so it was a Friday. So I'm like, cool. I'm gonna make it Friday. And then it's gonna be then I got some time to Sunday to cook. Mm-hmm. Do y'all know that pot sat in the refrigerator?
Yes.
Because I went grocery shopping again for the meals for the week, and they saw all that stuff. So then I need some pointers, Jazz. You gotta help me figure this out.
It's hard when you have a picky family. Trust me, my family is the same way. They do not do leftovers, and they are all picky. Like my husband, he's strictly like steak, lamb chops. He just want like the meat. He really don't do too many carbs. He loves his roasted Brussels sprouts. He got to have his meals a certain way. My kids are a different way. My one son always screaming crab legs. The other one screaming. And it's just like everything is so, they all different.
Yeah.
And it's just hard.
I'm stuck on that. How old is he?
14.
Your nieces are like that. About crab legs.
Yeah.
Crab legs and lobster.
Yeah.
I didn't get crab legs till I was 25.
Right? Listen, my mama didn't play no crab legs.
And it's an option?
Yeah.
It's an option.
No, back then you ate what was on that table.
I believe it.
And if you didn't eat, you didn't eat.
I'm getting to that. I'm trying to switch it to the old school style.
Got to.
And they be looking at me like, what? I'm like, look. And I put a kitchen and close time now.
Oh, yes.
Kitchen close at 7 p.m.
Yes. You have to do the kitchen close.
Ain't nobody eating after 7 p.m. So if that means you decided to go play, you decided to do X, Y, and Z, and you ain't eating your food and cleaned up and went upstairs, I don't know what to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, kitchen closed. So I think the other night they were playing it and they thought they didn't take me serious. And I literally turned that light off. I said, 7:30, kitchen closed. And I knew they were, and they looking at Aaliyah. She looked at me and she started crying and walked away. And I'm like, what's the problem? So I waited. I knew I was going to give in.
Right.
But I waited for like a good 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They all upstairs and they was really getting ready to go to bed. And I'm like,
You feel guilty like you starving them or something and knowing they not starving.
Well, I knew I was going to come down, but I just wanted them to, see I was serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, get down here. And I'm talking like drill sergeant mom. And I'm like, now listen, didn't I tell y'all kitchen was closed at 7? Yes. You told me kitchen was closed at 7. What time is it? It's 7:45. I said, this the last time. I ain't had no issues ever since, though. So I went ahead and let them, hurry up and eat, get everything together. But guess what? They be on it. They be on each other. Hey, mama said kitchen closed. So what you doing? Man, I got 5 minutes.
That is hilarious.
And they're trying to scrounge.
You have to, because if not, it's just this COVID for my kids. They feel like they can be in the kitchen all day, every day.
That sounds like somebody I know. We ain't gonna talk about that. That's a different situation. That's a different situation.
Look at that look he giving. Like,
wait a second. There was a Facebook post that went viral, and it was about a parent that says it was a parent stating that that's child abuse. If you limit what your children eat, that they should be able to just eat whenever and whatever they want.
oh wow.
Yeah, so that comment thread was kind of all over the place.
That sounds like child abuse.
Yeah.
Let your child eat whatever they want, whenever they want.
Yeah.
Well,
She
really,
said,
you're supposed to let them eat till they get full. That's why you have so much trouble with obesity and things like that, because we don't
they
cut
just
it
constantly
off.
just, and that's what I think her standpoint was when she was growing up, that she never had to ask, and she, it was whatever they wanted, they got. And so, of course, for her children, and there was a lot of parents that agreed, but then there was a lot of parents like me. I'm like, look, we on schedules here. Y'all know what y'all snacks are. There are snack options, but you're not just about to be in and out this kitchen all day.
No.
Eating breakfast for dinner, dinner for breakfast. It's not going to work
Listen,
out.
unless we scheduled that,
Right.
come on now.
Right.
They'll be done had it all misconstrued. So how has business been for you during COVID?
Well, this year has been very tough because I was so terrified, like pretty much probably all of us were when it first came out, that I had to cancel so many events because I was afraid if I still went forward, I could get people sick, or I didn't know what this whole COVID thing was. So in order for me not to, jump into it and just for the money type of thing, I shut things down for a while, and this was going to be projected one of my best years, like with the events I had booked and the people. And like I said, last year, I did amazing. Last year was amazing. So this year was projected even better.
Right.
But I had to cancel. I had to refund a lot of money. It was very hard, even though I work a job, and at first I was doing the catering full time. Right. And then something just told me, what I might want to go ahead and get a job. And it was like towards the end of the year that I started working at the bank, because I felt like something was happening or something was coming where I needed to prepare. Right. And normally I would just, I'm such an entrepreneur that I wouldn't care, because being an entrepreneur, you're grinding constantly. You have losses, you have wins, but for some reason I needed to be more stable, and now I see why.
And are you happy that you followed that gut instinct that you had?
To a certain extent, but you know how you feel like you're dying, because you're not in your element. You're not in your element. Yeah. So it's just one of those things where it's like, I'm working, I got the benefits, and all of that stuff. But who I am as a person and a creative, I feel like she took a back seat. So now I'm getting back into that place again. See, that's the tough part about trying to balance it all, especially when there's priorities. Mm-hmm. I think that's also one of the main things a lot of people struggle with, because we have these things, especially when you finally find it. I think that's what it is, which makes us not want to let go of that, because sometimes for people, it takes a minute to find that thing for you. Yeah. And especially when you can make money from it, like, bro, you do what you love. Right. Day in and day out. How long did it take for you to find out that you wanted to be a barber and that's what it was going to be for you?
How long did it take?
Yes.
For me to find that, to figure that out? To
figure that out to where you knew this was it.
Yeah, a day. Honestly.
Okay, you got
it. That's a.
We got time.
No, honestly, the situation I was in some years ago, like I had to sit down with myself and I had to figure out like, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I love to do that I wouldn't mind doing for free? You know, and it kind of hit me, you know, something I really wasn't tapped into it a lot, but I was doing it here and there, a little bit earlier in high school. And I'm like, I can cut hair. I want to cut hair in a day. And I just followed that dream. I followed that path and everything that I had to do to get where I'm at today. Now that took longer than a day, but yeah, the assumption that I can get it done took a day. Just came in that day.
And then it came and you acted on it.
In a day.
Better
believe it.
And then like you said, you were in a position to where it's like you knew you had to find something for yourself, especially working from home and taking care of a family. So you needed an outlet. Yeah. And then your outlet became your passion, and that passion became revenue. Yep. That's so dope. That's how I even thought about DJing. A lot of people don't know. I was working like 3 jobs at the time. I was in patient registration in the emergency room. I was on like year 3 or year 2 or 3 there. And I was working, those are 12-hour shifts. And I was on the 11A to 11:30 P shift. And I was working at AutoZone because I really like auto mechanics. Like if I had time, I'll go to auto mechanic school. I want to be a mechanic. I want to work on cars.
That's amazing.
So
that's different.
That's very different.
Yes, and so I took AutoZone. That's when I started, because I had my primary job. I had the benefits. You know, that was my stability there. But I knew I needed something else, and I did. I had 3 kids. Like you, I was pregnant with my son senior year in high school. So I graduated high school as a mom. Well, you know, not as a mom, but after I graduated, I became a mom. And then 3 years later, I had the twins. So I never had that chance to, you know,
figure it out.
Because I was always like, I got a kid. I need to focus on him. I got to, you know, keep a job. I got to keep moving. And once those shifts started becoming like, you know, mind you, I love working registration in ER. You know, I've seen so much, but it started getting taking a mental toll because it was literally nothing I have never seen. And that job, I want to say, prepared me for everything, because you had to be numb. Like you have to brace yourself for what you see in the emergency room. Yes. And I was working at the #1 trauma center here. So, you know, everything came our way. And I needed something. I needed that outlet. So I'm like, boom, I want to work on cars. But I know I was thinking whatever I did, I didn't have time to just let it be something for fun. I needed to make money. So AutoZone. See, they were hiring. I'm like, all right.
I wish I would have known that.
Bro.
I needed some car parts a couple years ago.
Man, listen. That was the first thing people could not even try. Like, man, listen, this is my job. Right. I can't get you no discounts. I don't have the hookup, okay? Like, no.
That's what they want you to think.
No. No. So I did AutoZone. But then AutoZone was minimum wage. So it was something I liked to do. But then I'm looking at all my days off. I'm coming in because, you know, you got to fill in them spots on the schedule. And I'm like, dang, these checks, you know, I'm making cool enough money at the emergency room, and these little checks. And I think they all fell on the same pay period. So maybe if it was alternated, I probably would have stayed at AutoZone a little longer. Right. But then during that time is when I'm like, I got to find something. And I know I love music. So I used to play the saxophone, and I thought that's where I was going to go back to. I'm still going to go back to it.
You a jack of all trades.
I am.
Man, what?
So that's what I thought it was going to be. But then I'm like, that's still on my list to do, but it didn't catch me. Yeah. And then y'all not going to believe this, but I didn't know the radio and DJs were the same. One and the same.
Yeah.
I didn't until the day I decided I wanted to become a DJ.
Wow.
Yeah. I knew I loved music and I wanted to do something with music. And then I was at work and something just clicked. Like it was something like on the radio. I don't know what I can't remember, but I think it was something on some said radio DJ. And I'm like, DJ. Literally, at that time, I went on Facebook like, hey, we have any female DJs in the city? Nobody, no female DJs like responded. And then I don't know if y'all know, I call him Sean, but Donald Ray Sean on Facebook, he's been doing the pop-up shops. He does the, the funnel cakes, glaze them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard about him.
Yes. So that's been my bro forever. We grew up in the same church. So he's like, I'm going to hook you up with some people. And there was a female DJ here, Licia. And she was the only one who wanted to link with me. And like she was just like open arms, like, okay, girl, I'm DJ. She was actively DJing, and like she didn't mind me tagging along. And then Sean hit me to a DJ at Bunkers for me to shadow.
Okay.
And it literally like within that same week, you know what I'm saying? I'm leaving off of the ER shift at 11:30, going to the bar to shadow, and I'm like, yes. And as soon as I seen like all the equipment, it was just like I fell in love.
Yeah.
Like this is it. And I literally just didn't stop from there. Like it just kept going. And I think more people should not be afraid of that search. Yeah. When you don't, if you know you don't have, or even if you just know you're good at something.
And it's funny because so many people used to get on me because they said I wasn't like stable because I just did so many things.
Yes.
And like I graduated beauty school and I did hair and makeup and nails for a few years. And then I got burnt out with that. And then, you know, I started doing women empowerment ministry for like 18 years. And then went from that, and then I did the catering business, and then I wanted to start my own clothing line. And then I was like, it was so many different things going on in my head that I was never satisfied with one thing. You know, it was like people are like, dang, you know how to do everything. You know how to do this, you know how to do that. I'm like, yeah, I know how to do all these things, but I wasn't happy, you know, in all those different things. And I know, like, ultimately at the end of the day, I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, I think my heart is really just, I want to be a philanthropist where I sow into people business, where I sow into their dreams, you know, where, you know, somebody could come to me with a business idea, almost like a Shark Tank, you know, where you come with these ideas, but it's another powerful team of people, you know, African-American people coming together where we are literally empowering our communities, empowering each other and pouring into the dreams to build up the neighborhoods and stuff. So
that's
I'm
amazing.
Like, I think I want to do something bigger. You know, it's not just about cooking. It's not, I got all these tools for a reason. And I feel like I just want to pour them back, you know, into the community.
And I think that's kind of what drew us together. Like we didn't know each other from a can of paint.
No. We was Facebook friends, but this is our first time.
This is literally our first. And it's crazy how you have those Facebook friends that you just like, that's my girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know how, it seemed like we've known each other forever.
Yep.
But I will say, like, you've poured into me and supported me more than my own family members that I have, you know, and the work that I see you do. And you are just that breath of fresh air and that light. And yes, I know that, you know, I'm a mother, I'm working. But to have and see another powerful woman, you know, and just to have access, it keeps you going. It's like that extra.
That's how I feel about you. I feel like that about Tiara, too.
Yes.
You know, like meeting her, I think I met her for the first time because she had me cater a small, one of her women's events when she was pampering them. Mm-hmm. And that was my first time meeting her. Okay. And I end up meeting her, and I'm like, man, that's like baby sis. Like, I love her to pieces, and I'm so proud of her. She
glows.
Yeah, she inspires me, too, to keep going. Like, even though I'm older, and I've been doing different things for years. But literally, when I was going through such a depressed stage where I was like, God, I don't even know what I want to do or if I want to do anything anymore. And watching Tiara's post and seeing her inspiration, and even times she would inbox me, you know, and say certain things, and I'm like, man, she was keeping that hope alive inside of me, you know, and keeping that dream inside of me alive. And some people get so caught up in, oh, this person young, they can't speak into you, or this person this and that. I don't believe in that.
Right.
That young woman is powerful, and she spoke into me in so many ways that I don't even think she realizes. But I love her to death, and she's another one that I don't know that well, but I know that well. You get what I'm saying?
Which tier is she speaking of?
Your tier.
Your wife.
Your wife.
Ow.
Hey.
When she started talking like that, sounded like somebody I know.
Yes, your wife.
I sound like
And-
I appreciate that. I appreciate that on her behalf.
Yes. I mean, my sister, you know, that's my sister. And we talk every day, all day. But I don't
She ain't
know.
lying. I'm sorry. My bad.
Look, nephew even like
he nodding in the background like, yeah.
yeah. But she is, and it's something about being connected to powerful women. And when I say powerful, I mean that. I'm not saying that just because I know you, I know of you, or I've interacted with you, or because she's my sister. It's the work that is being done, even through adversity, even through juggling families, personal situations, but it's something about wanting to still pour out. And I think a lot of people are scared to do that. They feel like you have to have it all together in order for you to sow into someone else.
Oh, no, that's not true at
And
all.
it's not true. I think there's been a false perception about that. Like, oh, you got to have this. You have to have that. And then it's like, I'm glad we're in this stage now where mental health is such a big thing, because you see a lot of these people with the fancy cars and with the money, they're the most saddest.
The ones that's really broke.
They're broke
Physically,
mentally, emotionally.
Yeah.
And I rather have that. I want to be rich in other ways. Of course, yes, the money gonna flow, because I'm claiming it for all of us.
Yes,
Everybody in this
amen to
room,
that. Yes.
the money's flowing. Okay,
Hallelujah.
we already there. We're in our purpose. It's coming.
Yeah.
But on that way and on the way there, we still have to give back.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna, go too deep, but the other day, you don't understand what I was going through when she hit my inbox, y'all, and she spoke to me. Like, I just seen her message, and I had literally just come back from signing my first contract. And then that message came up, and then I'm like, wait a second. And I'm reading it, and tears started falling. And you didn't know, like, your message that you sent to me, like, literally was speaking to me and everything I have been going through. Like, don't give up. Because I was at that point, even though I'm walking into what I've been working for, I'm in a grieving stage. I lost my grandmother in May, the only grandfather I've ever had or known, literally. We buried him first weekend of September. So I'm just like, I'm going, but then I'm like on autopilot. Yeah. I was just like, okay, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do this. And everything was coming, but then I wasn't really, I was happy, but I wasn't. Because it's like, the people I want to see it, the people I want to share it with, the people who helped me, who instilled that into me, they're no longer here. And it's just all happened. And she messaged me, and her words just, like, I started crying. And I'm not a crier. I'm not emotional. And when you are sitting here saying what you believe your calling is, I must, it's not believe, like, that is your calling. You have that ability. And Tiara has that too. Like,
definitely.
to speak. And it's just like, it must have been, I don't know if it was something on your, it's something that moved you to even message me.
I just started praying for you that morning. God just woke me up, and I started praying, and then that's what he gave me. And I was obedient. That's all
crazy.
It was.
It's not crazy, but it's just,
it's
that's
him.
Yes, how it works.
Surreal, right?
Yes.
Right.
And what if you not had, followed what you were supposed to do? That morning could have, I'm not saying I was like on the verge of anything, but, I could have, that gave me that extra push, because I was able to continue that day. Because I honestly was just ready to go home and get in bed. I was going to call off work, and I was like, you know what? I just need to recharge, because I felt some type of way. Like, I should be happy. Like, this is a major
you just had a lot going
step.
on. Those words of encouragement
that
changed your path.
Changed my whole path for that day. And I don't think
people don't realize
that.
how important it is. Like, people use social media for horrible things, and we know that. We see that on the daily, but it's been so many times that I have signed on hopeless, and people have been on there, and I crossed a comment or something that spoke to me in such a profound way that it changed my whole mindset in that moment, you know? So, and like I said, Tierra was one of those people. I mean, I had some dark periods this year, especially with business not flowing and, you know, me just getting into this depressed state. And I know all of us probably experienced some form of depression during this whole COVID thing, like not being able to take trips or not being able to, you know, have those sneak away date nights with your hubby. And, you know, me and my hubby, we thrive off a date night. You know, we thrive off of that. That's our, you know, refueling and recharging. My husband works third shift.
Right.
So, you know, he's not always there. And so sometimes we cross paths. And so it's like during this whole COVID thing, like I got so depressed. And it was times where Tierra had spoke something, or my cousin Jewel would speak something, or somebody would post something, and I'll be like, man, okay, I could go on another day. You know, we all gonna get through this. We're all going through this. And so I'm just grateful. I use social media to connect and to, you know, I've been going through my friends list. Like, if you're not, you know, inspirational, or you're not doing something in the business, or, you know, your mindset, I've been really cleaning up my social media because I found myself getting so sad.
That's crazy.
And we talked about that not too long ago.
I've been doing it the past month. Like, if it's nothing interacting with some positivity, within myself, within their self, if it's nothing positive or shining light on something good or great, I got to disconnect, you know, because I don't like to get on and I'm seeing this and that has nothing to do with moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And I, you know, when people say, like, you know, social media can be extremely negative, but if you don't have that good balance and that's all you see, I can see how it drives some people to just like insanity. Because first off, there's a lot of things that are filtered through there that are just not true. There's a lot of things that are just negative. And I'm not going to say social media is a bad thing, because I will say it's a reason why a lot of us are pushing in a different way. Even with, you know, we're seeing things that's going on across the world that we wouldn't have known about because we see the media picks and choose what they decides to put on. But we see a live video actually. And then you got, I think I said this before, but you know, the live videos are not always necessarily live. No. You can put an old video on a live video, and people don't understand that. Yep. And I'm trying to tell people, like, this is why you need to learn and stay up with the times, because people getting stressed out about a video that came out in 1944. Like, no, that video's old and you're freaking out, you know, but it's just, it's the pros and cons. But I will say I have connected with some amazing people such as yourself.
Same.
And
I feel the same about you.
It's just like, oh, that happened for a reason. You know, it's a team. I have a team of people that I will connect with any day versus people that I've known my whole life.
Same here.
And a lot of people don't understand that. They're like, wait, how are you going to be that way? Or how would you do X, Y, and Z, and you don't even know that person, and you know such and such, your cousin going through X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, wait a second. Cousin ain't doing nothing.
Right.
Cousin ain't trying to do nothing. I already done. Listen, these are people you can just speak and it hits, and you're ready to learn and receive it. Yeah. So you can't tell me that it takes for me to pay my cousin bills or, you know, literally try to pull you out of your situation when my motivation comes from people that don't have to do that. It can just be the knowledge that they're dropping. That's enough for me to push through, to want to change my situation, to grind harder. And while we're speaking on that, we can go into the Cherrywood topic, because I feel like that ties into that. In regards to
that poor little soul, that poor soul.
Okay, Jasmine didn't see the video.
Okay.
So basically, there's a video that went viral from our own city. We've been going viral a lot lately. But it just showed, like, when you looked at the live video, you would be like, dang, that's messed up. Like, where is that? Like, it's dirty everywhere. It's like something you see off a movie in the projects. You know how, like, they got the playground in the middle, and then you see all the stoops all around it, and everybody out on their stoops. And then it's trash everywhere. People just out everywhere. And it was one young lady, and at first glance, you would just think she was just highly intoxicated. She, she, quote unquote, just tormenting or bossing up at a young lady sitting down on the stoop. And that young lady got up and, like, basically beat her up. But then you can tell, like, after that first hit, like, she's stumbling. Like, she couldn't even. After that, it should have been like, man, I ain't paying you no mind. You ain't. And you can tell that her mental wasn't in the right place.
Yeah, she wasn't there all the way.
She wasn't there. That wasn't an alcohol type situation. That could have been drugs and something else. She wasn't there. And
combination of
a whole
lot
lot
of bad stuff.
And in the midst of that, it's literally another lady, an older lady out there who obviously has mental health issues. And just out, her shirt off, like, which I think she had, like, just a
crop top belly shirt
or a bra, something like that. Yeah. And she just out there, just in her. It was hard. It was hard to watch. Wow. Young lady was bleeding. That's she got beat up.
What was hard for me to watch and take in and understand of all the males, all the men that was out there and watched it. Not one of them stepped in and said, "Hey, chill out. Stop." They were egging her on.
Everybody had their phones out.
Everybody.
It's like they was just trying to, and I think that's probably, and I'm glad that it did get deleted. And I'm glad that the people were on there, like, they needed to see that, even though it's not good, but y'all look whack. It's dirty. Look at where y'all at.
That was terrible.
It was not a good, it wasn't good.
Look on us. Period.
No, and a lot of people, and it sparked me because, mind you, I have had no reason to go on that side of town in a long time. Now, Cherry was always done had that persona, but I honestly did not know, and I felt some type of way because I'm in my city, and I didn't even know it was that bad.
Yeah, I live right around the corner. That's my area. I was born and raised north side of Toledo, went to Woodward, Leverett, Riverside, all that stuff, but I ended up graduating from Start, and I live right around the corner from the Cherry Woods, and like I told you on your post, I was just there a month ago viewing my friend's daughter dead body because she overdosed on heroin there, and like I told you, we were there, the coroners came. I mean, it was like something off The Walking Dead. Everybody was high.
Like zombies.
They were like zombies.
Isn't that kind of what you seen?
It was bad.
Got a feel of in that video?
It wasn't. Nobody was coherent.
No, it's saturated. Heroin is saturated through there, and it's sad, because it's a lot of kids that are pretty much raising themselves. It's a lot of kids that don't know where their next meal is gonna come from.
And there was kids sitting in that video.
In the video, watching this, thinking that's okay.
It's like they gave up, like, on that side of town, like. And I did see this young guy. One of my friends shared that this young guy came over with a team of people. I guess it's called You Mentor or Mentor You or something. And they came over and started cleaning up that side of town, which was
just after this video.
Yeah, it was like Saturday. I want to say it was Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah,
they came.
I think
over
they seen that and then decided
to clean up, and they were doing different things. So I saw a lot of pictures and videos of that. But yeah, I've done so much on that side of town. But like I told you on your post, it takes more than a couple people. It's so many people I know that have tried to help and tried to pour in and tried to do things. But sadly, that north side of town gets so forgotten about. Yeah. That whole strip on LaGrange, even when I was driving down LaGrange, and I know you saw the one video that went viral where the guy had got beat to death right there on LaGrange. And I'm literally driving down LaGrange and headed to go pick up my son from his girlfriend's house, and they stopped traffic because they were beating this man in the middle of the street.
I did not see that.
Oh, wow.
And they were beating him so bad, and they picked him up, slammed him on his head, and then he was unconscious. They dragged him, put him on the stoop, You know, the police finally got there, but by the time they got there, they took him to the hospital, and then he was pronounced dead. He passed. You know, I mean, it's just so rough over there. Like, I mean, it's terrible, you know, and it's like, where's the churches? Where's the people that, you know, all these nonprofits that we have? We have 333 churches in Toledo, and where's the ones for the north side, you know? It's nobody coming to help that side of town.
And what kind of made me feel some type of way is I did post, and I just wanted to post the question to see where people's mindsets were at, and it kind of validated where I felt. And that I wasn't trying to prove a point, but I asked, I said, so did the cherry woods get forgotten about? Are we just writing them off? You know, can the city back up? Because I've been seeing the city come together lately for issues that have nothing to do with anybody, just because they seen it on Facebook. And it was an issue that required some assistance, and people have pulled together, like the entire city. So people can't tell me that's not possible, because I'm seeing it happen, you know, during COVID.
Right.
But everybody kept saying it's they gotta want it. They gotta want it. And I'm thinking, like, from what I seen, they may have never been introduced. Some of those people could never know what it's like.
Leave outside of those four corners.
Outside of that, you know what I'm saying? So it's that don't, to me, that's not an excuse, you know? And yes, you may have family members, and I'm not, you know, because I'm pretty sure people have probably tried to touch their own family. We know how that go. Sometimes it take an outside person to get through to certain people. But to me, and with that being said, that's why all hands should be on deck. Because even though, that family member may have tried, it could be somebody, you could just speak to that person, you know? Your energy could just be what they've been looking for. And a lot of them just have never seen, they don't know nothing else. That's all they know. And some of them choose, like, this all I know, this all I want to know. And then some of them who are actually dying, they want more, they see more.
And like you said, I like what you did say on your post. You was like, well, some people could have been placed there. You know, low income. I was in low income back in the day, and, you know, you get on a list, and
that's the first available opening.
Yeah, whatever the first available opening was, that's where they placed you.
And that's just like when you go to school. Like, I transferred from Rogers to Woodward. You already know, they tried. Like, I had to boss up. Like, oh no, I'm little. I got a proper voice, but you ain't gonna do that. You're not gonna.
I play the sax, and I change your brakes. Chill.
Whatever, yo. But I think about that when I'm thinking of, you know, I've been in that situation before. Like, when and when you're speaking of mindsets, for some reason, that's a mindset that our families have. Like, oh, well, you in that situation, so go apply for low income. That's everybody's advice.
Right.
Instead of everybody pulling together, you know what I'm saying, you know, and trying to help in different ways, the first thing is go apply for low income. And when that happens, and then a lot of people get placed in places, and you don't really know. And then you thinking like, man, I just need me a place to stay.
Right.
I'll make it work. Now you in this place.
You stuck.
And I'm not going to say stuck, because when I stayed in the projects, my neighbor had told me that. And I promise you, I got up out of there.
Same here.
I got up out of there. And that's the reason why I feel differently about that, because you can make it out.
You can make it out, yeah.
And it's not necessarily about, you know, wanting it. I was exposed to the right things. And I think that should be a start, because a lot of them are not, you know, and they get over there, and then now they got to adapt to their environment, because if they don't, then what? Because we already know they don't play that way at all. They feel like they got that whole that whole division tied down. So people don't think about that. You know, they trying to make a way out. And then I seen someone, and I want to connect with her. She's like, well, I've offered somebody a job, but she said she turned it down because she was going to lose her house. And that's actually a lot of people's situation. But if it takes, you know, somebody just to say, I believe in you, and you gonna make it through, because a lot of people think about that. It's crazy. You can make an extra $5 on your check. Your benefits get cut, and now you got to pay market rent for a place that's only worth $10. So why wouldn't they be afraid of that?
Right.
That's the biggest thing. They're afraid of the income increase. The biggest thing in low income.
So it's not about, it's like, okay, yeah, it might be rough for a couple weeks, but I promise you, Get that check, and I'ma help you find your place. Just make sure you get that check. You gotta get your money right.
Yeah.
If we had that energy instead of being like, oh, well, they don't want it because she's scared. Yeah, she's scared. Why wouldn't you be?
Right.
This your place to stay. So I just think, I'm glad that we have people like yourself, like your wife, like you, bro, to be that, y'all not afraid to speak into people. Y'all not afraid to speak out. And I feel like it takes a collective effort. And I tell people we can't save everybody.
No, not at all.
We are still trying to save ourselves in certain ways. But it's about the gift of giving.
Right.
And whether
in
it's
that village.
In the village.
That village.
Sometimes it just takes for somebody to just say, you got it. Don't give up. The words are powerful. I see on Facebook, everyone so quick to tear somebody down. Somebody find out somebody get cheated on. It's just quick on that, Oh, yeah. Drama magnifies and gets the most attention. But I'm so glad that we changing that narrative.
Got to. You got
Changing
to.
that
Ma'am,
narrative.
indeed.
Got to.
So I am so glad that you came in with us tonight. It was such an
enjoyed
honor
it.
and blessing to have you here.
Yes, thank you so
tonight.
much for having me, and just being able to kick it with you guys tonight was awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Jasmine, while we're closing out, please let them know where they can find you, how they can book you.
Well, I'm on Jay's Catering on Facebook and on Instagram. And on my Instagram is Jay's Catering TOL. And on Facebook, it's just Jay's Catering. And you can book through my link. You can inbox me, or you could dial 419-320-5701.
Yes. And bro, plug yourself in.
Mr. Armstrong. Yeah. No, you can catch me if you are willing and wanting to get, something different, something nice, fresh cut for you, your brother, your granddaddy, your uncles, kids over 3, preferably.
You do the ladies too.
I do undercuts. I can't, what y'all call it, filet mignon, the curls and stuff. I can't do all of that, but
Said filet.
Mr. Armstrong 419, Mr. Armstrong 419 on IG. You can book there, or Mr. Armstrong 419 at setmore.com.
Yes. And of course, I'm your girl, DJ Bri Z. Y'all know y'all can find me each and every Monday night here. No Facts Given podcast, 6:30. Bro, so we on this together?
I mean, look.
Come on now.
Have I been here?
Yes.
Have I been here?
So basically, y'all can find myself and my bro here each and every Monday, 6:30 p.m., along with my booking page, DJ Bri Z, Essential Vibes ENT. If you need your DJ, I got you. We're also 419 Grind morning show each and every morning, Monday through Friday. And then we also, I need my lineup. We have self-explanatory.
I got the clippers in the car.
Our 419 Grind lineup. Y'all, I'm going to link everybody. We have so many wonderful podcasts that are on. And y'all also can catch me each and every Wednesday morning with Work It Out Wednesdays with Big Trees and Leah Renee. So, everyone, thank you for tuning in with us. No Facts Given Monday nights. We will see you next week. And again, thank you to the beautiful Jasmine for coming in and blessing us with her presence tonight.
Thank you, Jazz.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. And you guys have a wonderful week. And see you soon.
That's Jay's Catering.
Yes.
Yes.